All right, let's dive into a game you might just scroll past on the schedule. The Arizona Cardinals versus the Atlanta Falcons. Now on the surface, this looks like a battle between two teams near the bottom of the league. You'd think it's a toss-up, right? Well, the data tells a much different story, and it's actually pretty surprising. So yeah, you look at these two teams, you see their losing records, and you might think this game is a complete coin toss. But what if I told you our analysis shows a really clear data-driven advantage for one side? The big question is, where exactly does that advantage come from?
And here are the records to prove it. The Falcons are sitting at 4-9, and the Cardinals are 3-10. I mean, this is the kind of game that's really easy to just overlook. But like we're about to see, when you peek under the hood, the data reveals a potential mismatch that could decide the whole thing.
So, where do we start to find this hidden edge? Well, it all begins with the Arizona Cardinals offense and a critical, some might say glaring weakness in the Falcons defense.
This is it. This is the core conflict right here. You've got the Cardinals who really lean on quarterback Jacoby Brissett's arm, and they're going up against the Falcons defense that, to put it mildly, has had a really tough time against the pass all season long.
And this is where the numbers get really interesting. Brissett has been surprisingly productive through the air. On the flip side, the Falcons defense, yikes. They rank low in DVOA, which is just a fancy metric that measures how efficient a team is on every single play. A low DVOA against the pass means you're giving up big plays consistently. You add that to the fact they don't get much pressure on the quarterback, you've got a perfect storm brewing for the Cardinals offense.
So the potential outcome here is pretty clear, right? When you have a productive quarterback who has time to sit in the pocket and throw against the secondary that's already struggling, well, that offense can really control the game. This is the first major data point that suggests this game is not as balanced as it looks.
Okay, so the Cardinals have a huge advantage when they have the ball. But what about when they're on defense? Can the Falcons counter with their own offense? Let's take a look.
For Atlanta, getting into a shootout is probably not their best bet. Their path to winning this game is on the ground. They absolutely need to establish a strong running game, control the clock, and just try to wear down a Cardinals defense that has shown it can get tired as the game goes on.
And here's how they could pull that off. The Falcons have a serious weapon in running back Bijan Robinson. He is fantastic at getting yards after contact, or YAC, and turning what should be small gains into huge plays. They'll be aiming that attack at a Cardinals defense that not only gets worn down, but also has a low DVOA against the run, meaning they can give up those long clock-killing drives. If Atlanta can do that, they keep their own weak pass defense safely on the sideline.
So we've got these two competing strategies, don't we? The Cardinals' passing attack versus the Falcons' ground game. It's like a classic clash of styles. So which one is going to win out? Well, the data gives us a pretty clear answer. When we put the quarterbacks side by side, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. Our source material really flags this as a huge factor. You've got Jacoby Brissett, who has been consistently putting up numbers through the air, versus Kirk Cousins, and a Falcons passing attack that just hasn't really found its rhythm this year. This just pours more fuel on the fire for that Cardinals passing advantage we talked about.
So when we weigh the Cardinals' huge passing advantage against the Falcons' potential running game, there's one single factor that stands out as the most likely thing to decide this entire game. And that one factor points us directly to our final data-backed conclusion.
So here it is. The data-driven prediction is a win for the Arizona Cardinals. Now I know, that might surprise some of you, especially given their record, but the underlying matchups, they tell a very clear story.
Let's just break down the winning formula one more time. It's basically a three-step process. First, you have a highly productive passing game with Jacoby Brissett. Second, you line them up against a defense that is incredibly vulnerable to that exact style of attack. And third, that fundamental mismatch is what allows the Cardinals to control the game. Yeah, the Falcons are going to try to slow things down with the run, but the data strongly suggests that Arizona's ability to score quickly through the air will be the thing that decides this game.
And that really leaves us with the final question, doesn't it? The numbers, the stats, they all point decisively in one direction. They highlight a clear mismatch in the passing game. But you know what they say? Football is played on the field, not on a spreadsheet. So will the data hold true? Or can Atlanta's ground game control the clock, muddy the waters, and grind out a really unexpected victory? I guess we'll just have to watch and find out.